From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 29th, 2024. As intense battles continue in Gaza between Israeli troops and terror group Hamas, the IDF announced the deaths of 3 IDF soldiers killed yesterday. They are 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Amir Galilov, 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Uri Bar-Or, and 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Ido Appel, all reportedly killed by an explosion in a booby-trapped building in Rafah. Fighting continues in Gaza with Israeli troops eliminating terrorists and destroying terror infrastructure, including rocket launchers. And the IDF said today troops raided a combat compound near a mosque where they found dozens of weapons, components for preparing explosive charges in suitcases, dozens of grenades, military equipment, and ammunition. The IDF continues to defend Israel's northern border with Lebanon as well, as rockets continue to be fired at northern Israel by terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon, with the IDF responding. The IDF also said today that air defense fighters successfully intercepted, using the Iron Dome system, 2 unmanned aircraft that crossed the territory of Lebanon. And Hamas terrorists fired from the Tulkarem area in the West Bank today towards the nearby Israeli village of Beit Hefer, where some damage was reported by the gunfire, but no injury. Israeli troops were looking for the suspects. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham is in Israel. This is his 5th visit since October the 7th. Graham met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and senior Israeli officials, where he called out the International Criminal Court for seeking arrest warrants against Netanyahu and Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, alongside the leaders of terror group Hamas. And Graham reassured the Prime Minister there was no need to worry about support from the United States for Israel.
This is one of the most challenging times for the State of Israel since its founding. There are so many problems and challenges to overcome, but one of the problems you never have to worry about is America. I promise you that we will do all we can, Mr. Prime Minister, to hold the ICC account for this outrage against the people of Israel. A slap in the face to your judiciary.
Graham also called the International Court of Justice, which is currently hearing charges of genocide against Israel brought by South Africa, a joke. The senator also met with Israel's President Isaac Herzog, who thanked Graham, he wrote, for your vision of peace and normalization between Israel and its neighbors, for your defense of Israel and fight against the abuse of international legal institutions to attack Israel, and for your clear and unwavering demand for the immediate release of all the hostages held by Hamas. House Republicans are looking to sanction the ICC for the arrest warrants. Speaker Mike Johnson said the ICC should clearly be sanctioned for its outrageous and unfounded claims of authority. U.S. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby was asked during a press briefing today whether the White House supports such legislation.
No, we don't believe that sanctions against the ICC is the right approach here. No. I mean, look, we obviously don't believe the ICC has jurisdiction. We certainly don't support these arrest warrants. We've said that before. We don't believe, though, that sanctioning the ICC is the answer.
Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley was also on a solidarity trip to Israel this week, accompanied by former Israeli Ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, who shared that the two visited communities ravaged by Hamas terrorists on October the 7th, including kibbutz Nir Oz, the site of the Nova Music Festival, and the city of Sderot, and spoke with survivors of the atrocities. Haley reassuring America stands with Israel. Danon saying, we will continue to work together with our friends in the United States to ensure Israel's victory in the war, the elimination of Hamas, and the return of all hostages. Well, the annual Israel Day Parade is coming up this Sunday. The massive gathering that is normally filled with music and celebration will, like many other events since October the 7th, be toned down. The JTA reports the parade this year is being called Israel on 5th, referring to Fifth Avenue, where it takes place. And the parade's official theme is Am Echad, Lev Echad, one people, one heart, with a very clear and unified message that will be seen on T-shirts and signage calling for the release of the hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza, now for 236 days. The simple message, bring them home. The JTA cited CEO of New York's Jewish Community Relations Council, which is organizing the parade, Mark Traeger, saying the tone is more aligned with solidarity with the Israeli people and with our Jewish identity. This is a moment of solidarity. This is a moment to speak with one voice, to call to release the hostages. And if you cannot attend the parade in person, we will have it live for you here on Sunday on JBS. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, May the 29th at 7 o'clock. JBS strategic analyst David Harris discusses how the big lessons of the 1930s are relevant today. At 7:30, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch reminds his congregation that the climate change on American campuses has been incremental and that it's not too late to reverse the catastrophe. At 8, Rabbi Ethan Tucker offers sources, framing, and reflection on contemporary questions of Jewish power and responsibility and the land of Israel. At 9, Eric Kandel is on L'chaim. At 10, a replay of Rabbi Hirsch. And at 10:30, an encore of this newscast. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 29th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.